Hey y'all, thank you for joining me for the Reset Your Mental Challenge year end edition. It is me, Mia Bia, ancestral healer and mindset coach. I help people transform their lives from the inside out with divine tools, divine wisdom, um, transformation all around. That's what we're here for, transformation and growth. So I'm so excited to get things kicked off with this challenge. This will be the last time that I do the Reset Your Mental Challenge on a 7 day scale. Reset Your Mental will end up being a course that will be taught online in 2026. I'm super excited about that too. So basically, Reset Your Mental just came about when I was going through so much. Like, I was so stressed out mentally that it was causing my body to create all these weird symptoms. And there was like no diagnosis for it because the symptoms were just all over the place. And so I just sat down and spent some time with God. God told me to fast. So I did a 7 day fast. And during the fasting, God gave me this blueprint and a way to reset my mind so I can gain mental clarity again and just get back to myself and clear out some stagnant energy that was in my way and causing me some blocks because, baby, I was frustrated. I was like, so like, I don't even have the words for it, but everything was just irritating my soul, okay? And I just wasn't where I wanted to be in life, and then I had like all these things that just kept happening to me. And life was just life, and okay. And so I needed that. God gave me that. And now I am sharing it with you. So hopefully, if you have been feeling overwhelmed or frustrated, or even having physical symptoms that you can't explain either, like just out of the blue, um, this is for you. And I want to share the message that God gave me when I was going through all of this with you first, and then we'll move into actual teaching for day one of the challenge. All right, so the message goes like this. It says, your current reality is not in alignment with who I called you to be or what your heart truly desires. Listen to your inner self so that you may know what needs healing. Okay. Hmm. So many of us, we experience this mental turmoil because we're essentially just out of alignment. And we've accepted some things that don't resonate with us, like on that deep spiritual level. And like sometimes, people are always like, it's not that deep, it's not that. It is that deep, it's always that deep. And sometimes when we go through these phases of like mental turmoil or whatever, and we're able to recognize like something ain't right here, it's usually because you probably have some type of spiritual gifting as well, or God is trying to put you on the path so that you can grow and evolve into your purpose. So that's probably for you. But yeah, usually it's like pride, ego, wounds, traumas that keep us stuck in these cycles of misalignment. And that's why we have to continually learn how to reprogram and renew our minds to think from a place of healing and wholeness, because healing is it moves in cycles, and it's never ending. Healing is infinite. As long as you're breathing and living, you're gonna have to heal, you're gonna have to reprogram, you're gonna keep going through it to rebuild, tear down things that no longer serve you, and rebuild and do it all over again and again. Okay, so what this challenge is going to help you do, we'll be looking not only at what happened like in this past year, but also what has happened before that has led you to this place, so you can understand why you've been accepting less than, where you've been abandoning yourself, and how you may have entered what feels like a spiritual block. Okay. You'll also learn how to listen to your inner self, your inner knowing. You'll learn to discern the difference between your trauma speaking and God speaking to you. And you're going to become a self healer, because we don't outsource all of our healing process to other things. There's some work that we have to do personally, and we can't just expect for, you know, God to ride in on his magic carpet and say, boop, you're healed. That's not how that works. It's really a process, okay? So day one is focusing on illumination. Okay. When we feel burnt out, we feel frustrated, we feel unclear. It's usually because, again, something is off, something's out of alignment, something needs your attention. And that frustration, that irritation, all of those emotions are basically like alarms going off, like, hey, slow down, stop. I need to talk to you. Hey, you ignoring me. Don't go that way, go this way. Oh, you didn't listen, hold on. Like, and you have to slow down and get yourself back on track. Okay, so today we're going to be doing a temperature check on your life. A temperature check on your life. Thermostat, you got to learn how to use that thing, okay? Question we're asking today is, what issues am I facing right now that are causing my overwhelm, my frustration, and my lack of clarity? I want you to get those things out of your head and on some paper. Or if journaling is not your thing, because like I said, I did create the Reset Your Mental journal, which is a paper journal. There's also a digital version. I will put the links in the description box below if you want to get that. But journaling, sometimes you gotta talk it out, like in a voice memo or something like that. I have plenty of those on my phone too. And sometimes you just gotta sit with yourself and just reflect, and everything is like inside. Some people work better that way. Some people have to be creative. Some people might write poems about it. Some people might paint. It just depends on what works for you. Okay. Um, so our next step is to move into the space of self-reflection. So once you've written everything down about why you're feeling the frustration or the overwhelm. I feel like nobody's listening to me. My job is irritating me. I feel like I'm undervalued there. I feel like my household is chaotic. I feel like my spouse is not listening to me, or my significant other is not listening to me. Those are the things that are frustrating you right now. My child is not doing what I taught them to do. They're not moving in the guidance that I gave to them. Frustration of, I don't have the money that I need to have. I'm frustrated because things aren't going the way that I thought they would go in situation X, Y, or Z. Okay, once you write all of that down, I want you to go back and read it. When you're reading it, I want you to feel what emotions are coming up as you read it. Where are those emotions coming from? Um, am I frustrated because I didn't prepare for something when I had the chance? Am I overwhelmed because something needs to be released? Somebody needs to be released. Some place needs to be released, or something needs to be addressed? Or am I carrying somebody else's responsibilities or emotions as my own? Am I trying to control things that are out of my control? Oh, but these are examples, okay? Let your reflection be honest, okay? And then when you reflect, I want you to take it a little deeper. Are you noticing some patterns? Are you noticing some repeated situations? Are you noticing some familiar emotions that you felt before this year, or even before this year? Have these same issues that you're frustrated about now, have they shown up at any points in this year before now? 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a month ago, earlier this year. Okay. Um, I just want you to write those things down. Are you noticing those things? Are you seeing those things? Because today is not about fixing anything, it's about trying to see the problem in its entirety. Um, I want to tell this story. So, like, think about when you're a child, right? When you're a kid, most kids are afraid of the dark. Um, and say, you're getting ready to go to bed as a child, the lights are off or whatever, the door might be cracked, there might be some light shining from the hallway, and there's a shadow on your ceiling that looks like a monster. You're afraid. You're like, I'm not going to sleep. Mama, come help me. Okay. And then mom comes in the door. She opens the door up and turns the light on. And you realize that the monster is gone. And then mom comforts you. She leaves, turns the light back out, cracks the door again. You see that same monster on the ceiling. So you decide to sit up and look around your room, and you realize that you have a chair at your desk and it has a hoodie on it, and there's a hat sitting on your dresser at the right angle. And that little bit of light that's shining in the darkness is projecting this monster that you're beginning to fear. But when you turn the lights all the way on, you can see that it was never really a monster in the first place. It was just a few misplaced items around your room. That's what you're doing today. Okay. So thank you so much for joining me for day 1 of the Reset Your Mental Challenge. We'll be here tomorrow. So you can join us for day 2. But thank you so much. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you know when these videos are dropping. You can also follow me on other social media, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. I will also link those in the description box as well. See you tomorrow.